of Deputy President William Ruto the ICC. Many question what will be Ruto's fate in the case that lingers around. This as the rift within Ruto's party widens, with the president now firing political jabs at his deputy, confirming that their dented relationship is unfixable. And as that continues, other presidential contenders join the 2022 race, perhaps with a vision of dealing with the mishaps or the mishaps that have been caused by the two. What way forward for Wanjiku is one question that we continue asking. So join me now and let's learn more about the above. It is a beautiful Monday morning and this is Morning Cafe. It begins right now with yours truly, Linda Alela. It is always good to have you and to have you joining into the conversation. Hashtag Morning Cafe at Linda_Alela TV 47K. I'm happy to be here this morning as I look forward to an incredible week ahead. Join me right now as I take you through what it is that you expect in the world of news. But importantly, we get into those candid discussions also later on. We'll discuss eye care. It is important that you take care of your eyes. Just how best can you run away from some of these complications that would be, on your eyes, and how best can you get to learn some of the things that you need to do, nitty-gritty details that would get you avoiding, eye complications. So welcome on board. Be part of this conversation from 6 a.m. all the way to 9 a.m. And as I've said, we're looking forward to an incredible week ahead. So much so in regards to what has been captured in the world of news. We'll be looking at that as we proceed, and also what it is that is on the papers, and of course we expound some more in regards to all this as we also look at what you expect on the roads, what is set for the day. First, importantly, I think it's only fair that we take a look at what it is that is on the newspapers. But before we get to what it is that is on the newspapers, let's first of all pick what it is that my team has prepared in regards to matters news. And here we go. Former Secretary General of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, Moise Kitui, launched his 2022 presidential bid. That is yesterday, nearly 18 months into the wholly contested general elections. Kitui has stated that his political race to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta will not be characterized by insults as witnessed in other politicians.
Temperatures continue to rise as more candidates continue to announce their 2022 presidential bids. Moise Kitui, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, former Secretary General for 2 terms since 2013, now becomes the latest to the hat into the ring. Moise jetted back into the country Sunday morning, bearing news that he will be vying for the 2022 presidential seat, whose journey will begin on Monday, when he will tour the western region to familiarize himself with the locals.
My learning experience will start in my home area in Western Kenya for the next few weeks. Consult, seek advice, but also seek blessings. On the basis of this, I'll come back to the national stage, where I intend then to formally declare the start of a campaign to seek to be the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. And after that declaration, I commit that I will tour the country to learn, to share, to identify people we can walk the same direction with.
While attending a church service at the Makadara Friends Church here in Nairobi, Moise denounced toxic politics in the country, filled with hatred and insults, saying his journey to State House will be civilized.
Hata kama saa zingine unaweza kumsikia mtu anasema maneno unataka kumdharau, sio lazima na wewe utangaze kwamba umedharau maneno yake. Unaweza kukimya na ndani ukajisikia nimesikia mengi kuliko haya. Kuna uwezekano katika taifa la Kenya kwa viongozi kufanya siasa kuonyesha tofauti zao bila kudhuru ustahimilivu wa ustaarabu, bila kudhuru heshima kwa wale ambao unawapinga.
The former Minister of Trade and Industry has categorically stated that his eyes are fixed on grabbing Kenya's top seat and not a Mulembe nation position.
I think the best people to answer what my candidate means for them is Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula. And I will encourage them to be asked that question, because I cannot second guess the reactions to my candidature. But I thought I was not looking to be a paramount chief of the Luhya. I'm seeking a national mandate to be president of Kenya.
And as BBI politics continue to reign in the country, Mukisa has been seen to be leaning towards supporting the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020. However, he has insisted that BBI is not the ultimate solution to the troubles dodging Kenyans.
Nia ya kuleta uwiano kati ya Wakenya, nia ya kuleta amani hususan wakati wa kura, nia ya kuwafanya Wakenya watengamane kama taifa moja, ambayo imeelezwa ndio sababu ya msingi wa BBI. Ni nia nzuri kwa taifa, lakini pia nasema kwamba BBI sio suluhisho ya kila shida ya Kenya. Kuna changamoto zingine.
Mukisa has now joined the already crowded 2022 presidential race and will have to battle it out against Deputy President William Ruto, Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, and ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi. Other leaders who have hinted that they shall run for presidency include Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho, his Kakamega counterpart Wycliffe Oparanya, Makueni boss Kivutha Kibwana, and Moranga's Mwangi Wairia. ODM leader Raila Odinga is yet to make it clear if he shall be on the ballot. Nano Cloren, TV 47.
And now, Deputy President William Ruto has reiterated that the Jubilee government's agenda is still ongoing. Ruto said implementation of the project, which includes road development, will be expedited after the Building Bridges Initiative BBI process. Now, Ruto and his allies are opposing the BBI, while Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga are championing for the bill set for a referendum June. Now, Mudhoni Maina has that report.
Deputy President and the Hustler Battalion took the Hustler narrative to Nyandarua on Sunday, where he addressed several roadside rallies. DP Ruto had earlier attended a church service in Kinangop, Nyandarua County, where he cited infrastructure, electricity and education programs as some of the development initiatives the Jubilee government has approved since 2013.
Kwa sababu ni program moja tulianza na rais. Tulianza tujenge foundation, tumejenga foundation, tumemaliza. Ile kazi imebaki hapa sasa ni hiyo ya kukamilisha, ya kupanua nafasi za kazi na kuweka biashara kwa wananchi wote hapo chini, na hiyo kazi ndio mimi naelewa zaidi, kwa sababu tulikubaliana na rais hiyo plan iendelee namna hiyo.
The DP also failed to attack his political nemesis ODM Raila Odinga, who is accused of stifling a Jubilee development agenda. Ruto told Raila to choose between being in government or not.
Mimi nataka nimwambie bwana kitendawili, kama ako na macho aone, kama ako na masikio asikie, kama ako na akili atumie. Serikali ya Jubilee tumejenga reli kilomita 700, tumejenga barabara kilomita 7,000, tumejenga technical training colleges 140, tumeunganisha Wakenya milioni 5 kwa huduma ya stima wapya. Wewe uwezi kusema ya kwamba hii serikali haijafanya kazi yoyote.
Meanwhile, leaders from Mount Kenya region have vowed to continue supporting Ruto's quest to succeed President Kenyatta in 2022. The 12 MPs who accompanied Ruto to Kinangop said they will ensure the promise made by President Kenyatta to back his deputy for the presidency is made a reality.
Kwanza juzi, unajua ametushangaza kanisani, hii mtu ya katikati anasema ati bibi ya mwanaume mwingine atakaa na yeye, akimaliza na yeye arudishie bwana yake. Mlisikia hiyo maneno? Mtu kama hiyo anaweza atakanya sisi?
The Service Party of Kenya leader Mwangi Kionjore said all indicators in the BBI will be passed irrespective of the majority wish and urged DP Ruto to focus on 2022 elections. Kionjore said it was insincere of the president to go against his earlier promise of supporting the deputy president once his term expires.
Ile maombi ambaye munaombea deputy president munatuombea kila siku mukiamuka. Saa hii tukitoka hapa, yale maombi ambaye yataingia huko biguni, hata yule kitendawili na watu yake wakijaribu kutenda mabaya, kuomba mabaya, kuna traffic jam huko juu. Mimi nataka kuuliza jameni, ni wapi William Samoei Ruto alisimama akasema hii barabara nimekuja leo kujenga, ati hii barabara ni ya pesa zangu? Huwa anasema hii ni kazi ya serikali yetu na mwana Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
Gatondo South MP Moses Kuria said Mount Kenya region will not be in a vacuum once President Kenyatta's period lapses. He accused Mr. Odinga of destabilizing the Jubilee administration. Kuria's remarks coming hot on the heels of President Kenyatta asking his deputy Ruto to resign instead of criticizing the government from within.
Wanadanganyana ya kwamba ati sisi watu wa eneo hili la Mount Kenya, rais wetu Mpedo akienda ati tutaachwa uchi. Mimi nakuwauliza, katiba ndio imesema rais atakuja aende. Kwani Mungu anaenda? Viongozi wote wako hapa. Kwani mnaona kama hawatoshi boga? Wanatosha boga ama hawatoshi boga?
Elsewhere, Garissa Township MP Aiden Duale says that the residents of Northeastern will vote no in the event the constitutional amendments are subjected to a referendum. He stated that the region's bare minimum to support the BBI is for Ijara and Wajir South constituencies to be split into two.
Ukitaka sisi tusikize hii upuzi ya BBI, ni upuzi. Na munagawanya viti 70 na wewe unaamini sisi hatuna maana kama wa Somali, lakini watu wenu wako na maana. Wewe unachukua constituency 20, mwingine anachukua constituency 15, mwingine anachukua 7, mwingine anachukua 4, na unafikiri Garissa, Wajir, Mandera hawatapata kiti. Sisi hiyo BBI tutaangusha.
Muthoni Maina, TV47.
Still on politics, ODM leader Raila Odinga has once again accused his political rival, Deputy President William Ruto, of being unfit to lead the country. Odinga's statements comes barely days after President Kenyatta urged his deputy to resign.
ODM Raila Odinga has once again echoed President Uhuru Kenyatta's narrative, saying Ruto's track record in the last 8 years is worrying and cannot be trusted to be at the helm of the nation. In company of Environment Cabinet Secretary Kariako Tobiko, MPs Moitalel Olekenta among others, the ODM boss took the BBI campaign to Narok County. Odinga's allies, led by Kenta, accused the second in command of implanting leaders in Narok against the wishes of the people, saying the move has led to the derailment of development projects.
Hawana chochote, wanaumia. Alafu mnatuambia nini? Alafu mnasema watoto wetu wapewe wheelbarrow. Wengine wanajenga mabarabara, wanakuja wanachukua kazi zetu, lakini sisi tunapewa wheelbarrow. Mnakubali hiyo?
Useme ya kwamba BBI inatosha kwa sababu rais ako nyuma ya BBI. Kama hutaki kusema hivyo, basi wewe ng'atuka, ujiuzulu, utoke ndani ya serikali, ukae huko opposition.
On Mau evictions, Odinga said that even though he fought for it, it was used as a political tool against him because many livelihoods depended on it.
Ya dhuluma ya kihistoria ambayo watu wa Maa umepitia. Ukisoma vitabu vya kihistoria unaweza kujua yale ambayo yamefanyika. Vile Nana alidanganywa na wakoloni. Vile watu wa Maa walifukuzwa kutolewa huko Laikipia kuletwa huko chini. Hapo Naivasha walikuwa wameweka corridor maili 10 ya Wamasai kupita na ngombe zao wakawa naitwa Shenzi Ngombes. Kutoka kule ili wakuje nao huko chini Narok na Kajiado. Ili wazungu waweze kufanya ranching huko juu.
Ndivyo hivyo wewe baba, kama Wakenya ndio wameona wewe ndio umetosha, hata wewe tangaza msimamo useme huko hapo, na mtapatia maelekeo. Mfanye kazi na rais wetu Uhuru Kenyatta, handshake. Na hiyo handshake sisi watu wa serikali imetupatia nafasi tufanye kazi bila wasiwasi.
So far, only 3 county assemblies, Siaya, Homa Bay and Kisumu, have passed the BBI constitutional amendment bill, with Baringo County dropping it.
All right, the 3 first stories form the basis of our conversation this morning alongside Barack Muluka, that way Alliance Secretary General Fred Okango, and also Nyeri Speaker, that is Kagushia. Honorable Kagushia will be joining us via Skype, and we expound some more on what shape the politics of the day is taking. But importantly, this one, fuel prices have shot up significantly, signaling tough times ahead for Kenyans. In a review by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Super Petrol increased by 8.19 shillings and will retail at 115.18 shillings per litre in Nairobi. Diesel, on the other hand, and kerosene went up by 5.51 shillings and 5.32 shillings respectively from midnight, that is tonight, or now walking into this morning. Diesel and kerosene will be retailing at 101.91 shillings and 92.44 shillings per litre until March. That is March. EPRA said that the price changes, which are inclusive of the 8% value-added tax, are taken into account the weighted average cost of imported refined petroleum products. International crude oil prices have been on the rise following a resumption in demand for the commodity after the reopening of the bulk of world economies following the initial pandemic hit.
Waboda ataumia. Kila mtu lazima ataumia kwa sababu hata ile kidogo uko nayo sasa hata imekuwa kidogo zaidi. Wanatukula pande hii na pande hii, kuna wanatuiba, kuna wanaiba serikali, kuna yani saa zingine hata ukifikiria unaweza ruka kichwa.
And in fact the economy is not that strong to sustain the high cost of living in this country.
Nafanya kazi ya Uber. Lazima sasa ile bei ambayo huwa anayekaga bei ya mafuta lazima sasa niongeze kwa sababu bei ishaongezeka. Na pia sasa bei zingine zitakuwa zimeongezeka. Na kile kipato ambacho nachopata inabidi sasa nipunguze, ile ambaye napelekaga nyumbani lazima nipunguze sasa iende kwenye mafuta.
And now on standby, we have Honorable John Kagushia, who is the Speaker of Nyeri County, joining us via Skype, and with me in studio, Fred Okango, Secretary General, Third Way Alliance, as we await Dr. Barack Muluka, Communications Advisor, who will be joining us shortly after. But first, let's look at what it is that the papers detail. We have the Standard newspaper, we have the Daily Nation, and we have the People Daily, as always, on screen, the People Daily. And with me here, copies of the Standard newspaper, 2022 mad rush for new parties is one of the key stories that the Standard newspaper highlights on the front page. Pain as Treasury raises taxes yet again, raiding Kenyans' pockets. All prices have risen up. And I think that's the last story that I have picked on, giving you details and the amounts that you expect. Raila Ruto clash a day after the DP wash. And this is actually, he was heckled, still talking about the politics of intolerance that we witness in the country that is here. And we'll be looking at what culminated over the weekend as we get into the discussion, just what this means and exactly what way forward for the people. And picking up the Daily Nation, front page of the Daily Nation, members of parliament seek to block weekends in cells. And Kamata Friday, you all know that. We've been treated to that quite a while. The proposal by Deputy President William Ruto's allies was informed by the arrest of perceived government critics, that is on Fridays, in order to have them spend the weekends behind bars, a trend popularly known as Kamata. Just how instrumental has it been in dealing with some of these leaders, or better yet, people who have been named to be part and parcel of matters corruption? Well, certainly nothing much, as many would argue, but equally away from that, the pain at the pumps as petrol prices go up. And also here, Ruto, I'll make peace with President Uhuru Kenyatta. Just how instrumental would that be? Is the relationship between these key leaders within the Jubilee Party something that can be repaired? As it is, they argue it is extremely dented. We wait to hear what the panelists will be saying in regards to the same. And of course, in matters campaign trailed, most of these leaders traversed different parts of the country over the weekend in a bid to push for BBI, others for their 2022 presidential bid. Mohisa Kitui joining in the race, and I think we'll be looking at that as we get to proceed, whether indeed he is going to be a sure bet or a better bet, as it is right now. Most of the leaders are trying to get themselves into the race. And on the People Daily, that is in front page of the People Daily, Uhuru takes 2022 war to DP's doorstep. That one we wait to see what the guests that I have this morning will have to say. Kitui State House bid and love reigns in spite of tough times. This is what we'll be looking at. Most of the stories that have been captured, technically, are stories that are captured across all these newspapers. And I'd love for the gentlemen who are here on standby already to weigh in to the same. BBI faces turbulence on the way to Ruto's strongholds. That's a story captured on page 6, probably informed by what it is that we have seen that Baringo, the three key county assemblies that we're speaking about that have already given their decision on matters BBI, and some of them sailing it through, others quashing it. We'll be looking at that as we proceed with the broadcast. But importantly, let's first of all say hi or say jumbo to the guests that I have on board. Mheshimiwa Kagushi, how are you?
Good morning, Linda. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. Good to have you this morning.
Thank you very much.
Yes, still waiting to hear what it is that Nyeri has in store in regards to the BBI, whether it's going to sail the document through or not. Is there anything you can say about that?
Nyeri County Assembly, we have requested for a training today so that my members can be able to be taken through the BBI, as most of them still would like to understand what BBI is about, because I think they may not have interacted with the document in the past. And now, because I have received a number of copies, I have received hard copies, I have also received soft copies, which now we can trust, because we have had a lot of soft copies in the system or in the social media which were not trusted copies. And then we have now requested for them to be taken through so that they can also be able to make informed decision. Because that is what is most important, because then again you find what we find mainly in the media and the social media, a lot of times you don't have correct information. So Nyeri County Assembly will have the opportunity today to ask all the questions they may have. They will have the opportunity to go through the document, to understand the issues, to understand the pros and the cons, and to also ask hard questions about the document. And so that is important for us, because then it improves our knowledge, it informs us, and that for that reason then I expect that members of my county assembly will be able to conduct the public participation in an objective manner, in a manner that they understand what they are doing, because that will be organizing towards the end of this week. And once the public participation has been conducted, then we expect hopefully by next week we can be able to debate the document in the county assembly.
What we have witnessed, Mheshimiwa, do you see any level of objectivity in how some of these other county assemblies have passed this and others have quashed it? Because evidently also ethnicity or the politics of tribe is being witnessed.
I'm afraid that some of the counties, probably for political reasons, did rush through the document, rushed into the debate even before engaging the public and engaging the people, probably even doing the training, even going through the normal processes of the county assembly. Some of them did seem to be hurrying and to be, overzealous about the document. And I believe really some of them could have been due to political pressure or political posturing. And that's where, again, the issue of